In the realm of Stoicism, it is crucial to exercise discernment when it comes to trusting and respecting certain individuals. Trust acts as the glue that holds relationships together, be it with friends, partners, or family members. However, not everyone deserves our complete trust and respect. By examining the characteristics and behaviors of different individuals, we can form a solid impression of their essence and make informed decisions about whom to trust. It is important to note that when discussing not respecting someone, it does not imply insulting or mistreating them, as the Stoics teach us otherwise. Rather, it entails recognizing when it is appropriate to distance ourselves from individuals whose questionable behaviors do not contribute to our well-being or harm our lives. In this exploration of trust, we will delve into 8 types of individuals one might encounter in relationships and learn when it is wise to maintain a safe distance. Let us begin by discussing the manipulative individual. Trusting and respecting such individuals is a path one should steer clear of. Manipulators stand out for their selfish behavior, always seeking personal gains, even at the expense of others. They employ manipulative tactics such as lies, psychological games, and emotional exploitation to achieve their goals. What makes dealing with manipulators tricky is that their manipulation can be subtle, making it challenging to detect immediately. Whether it is within personal relationships or professional settings, trusting these individuals can lead to betrayal, emotional harm, and a breach of trust. Protecting oneself from manipulative characters starts with identifying signs of manipulation. Be on the lookout for a lack of transparency, inconsistent behavior patterns, and a constant feeling of being controlled. Establishing clear boundaries and communicating assertively are essential. When faced with manipulative behaviors, express discomfort and raise concerns. However, at times, distancing oneself may be the wiser choice, especially if manipulation persists. Respecting your integrity involves recognizing when a relationship is harmful and taking action to preserve your mental health. This might entail cutting ties with manipulative individuals and seeking emotional support. Avoiding trust and respect for manipulators becomes an essential self-defense measure. By recognizing signs of manipulation, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your well-being, you can pave the way for healthier and more authentic relationships. It becomes a journey towards self-preservation and genuine connections. Moving on, let us explore the individual who criticizes everything. In the vast landscape of human connections, there is a lesson to be learned from those who delight in speaking poorly of others. Instead of shedding light on the person they criticize, it reveals more about the speaker's character, acting as a spotlight on the storyteller. It is crucial to recognize when it is wise to step back from individuals who engage in such behavior. Much like finding a clearing in a dense forest where healthy relationships can thrive, avoiding these individuals is prudent. Gossip mongers, rumor weavers, and image harmers lack positive qualities. They exploit others' mistakes to elevate themselves in the intricate dance of friendships. As the story unfolds, one might feel scrutinized while watching this narrative. The irony lies in the fact that those who invest time in criticizing and spreading gossip are not the heroes engrossed in productive activities. Instead, they are like jesters making unnecessary comments about others to mask their own unhappiness and lack of occupation. Caution should guide us in this unfolding narrative. Be careful about sharing your life with those who show no respect or understanding. Those who easily speak poorly of others can just as easily turn the tables on you. That is the lesson in our tale. Choose your companions wisely in the grand story of life. Now let us delve into the third character in our exploration. The one who seems to be friendly with everyone, always adorned with a smile and ready to offer help anytime, anywhere. On the surface, this person might appear popular and outgoing. However, it is advisable to approach with care when placing your trust in them. Someone who is always seeking to please everyone and maintain a positive image might be more interested in their own popularity than in building genuine relationships. Their friendliness and helpfulness may stem from a desire for validation and approval rather than a sincere concern for others. They may be inclined to say or do anything to maintain their favorable image, even if it means compromising their integrity or loyalty. Placing complete trust in such individuals can be risky, as they may prioritize their own interests over the well-being of those they associate with. It is essential to look beyond the surface and assess whether their actions align with their words. Pay attention to inconsistencies and potential ulterior motives. While it is not necessary to completely dismiss them, it is wise to be cautious and not invest blind trust in these individuals. Moving forward, let us explore the individual who constantly seeks validation and approval from others. This person's self-worth is heavily reliant on external validation, and they constantly seek the approval and admiration of those around them. They may go to great lengths to gain recognition and praise, often at the expense of their own authenticity. Placing trust in someone who is constantly seeking validation can be challenging, as their actions may be driven by the need for approval rather than genuine intentions. They may be prone to changing their behavior or values to fit in with different groups, making it difficult to discern their true character. While it is important to empathize with their insecurities and understand their underlying motivations, it is also crucial to be cautious when it comes to placing trust in them. Their need for validation may lead them to prioritize the opinions and desires of others over their own values and principles. This can create an unstable foundation for trust, as their actions may fluctuate based on the expectations of those around them. It is important to evaluate whether their behavior aligns with their words, and to be mindful of any potential inconsistencies. Building trust with someone who constantly seeks validation requires patience and a deeper understanding of their motivations. It is essential to encourage them to embrace their authentic selves and to develop a sense of self-worth that is not reliant on external validation. However, until they have established a more stable sense of identity and values, it may be prudent to exercise caution and not place complete trust in them. Next, let us discuss the individual who constantly seeks attention and validation through drama and conflict. This person thrives on creating chaos and stirring up controversies to gain attention and maintain a sense of importance. They may intentionally provoke others, engage in arguments, and create tension to be at the center of attention. Placing trust in someone who constantly seeks drama and conflict can be risky, as their actions may be driven by a desire for attention rather than genuine care for others. They may manipulate situations to cast themselves as the victim or the hero, often at the expense of others' well-being. It is important to recognize their patterns of behavior and assess whether their actions contribute to a healthy and supportive environment. While it is not necessary to completely cut ties with them, it is wise to be cautious and not invest blind trust in their words or promises. Their need for constant drama and conflict may overshadow their ability to maintain genuine and trustworthy relationships. It is essential to set boundaries and communicate assertively when faced with their provocative behavior. By doing so, you can protect your own well-being and maintain a healthy distance from their disruptive influence. Now let us turn our attention to the individual who always tries to one-up others. This person has a constant need to prove their superiority and demonstrate that they are better than those around them. They may engage in a subtle or overt competition, always seeking to outdo others and be the center of attention. Placing trust in someone who constantly tries to one-up others can be challenging, as their actions are driven by a need for validation and a fear of being overshadowed. They may undermine the achievements and successes of others in order to elevate themselves. Their behavior can create an unhealthy and toxic environment where genuine collaboration and support are undermined. It is important to recognize their patterns of behavior and assess whether their actions align with the values of trust and respect. While it is not necessary to completely dismiss them, it is wise to be cautious and not invest blind trust in their intentions. Building trust with someone who constantly tries to one-up others requires clear communication and the establishment of healthy boundaries. It is essential to foster an environment that celebrates collaboration and mutual growth rather than competition and comparison. By doing so, you can navigate their need for validation while maintaining a safe distance from their toxic tendencies. Moving forward, let us explore the individual who constantly plays the victim. This person tends to portray themselves as the perpetual victim in various situations, often evoking sympathy and support from others. They may exaggerate their misfortunes or manipulate events to cast themselves as the innocent party. Placing trust in someone who constantly plays the victim can be challenging, as their actions may be driven by a desire for attention and sympathy rather than a genuine understanding of their role in conflicts or challenges. They may avoid taking responsibility for their actions and may manipulate others into taking sides or providing unwarranted support. It is important to evaluate their behavior and assess whether their actions contribute to a healthy and supportive environment. While it is important to empathize with their struggles and experiences, it is also crucial to recognize any manipulative tendencies and patterns of behavior. Building trust with someone who constantly plays the victim requires open and honest communication. It is essential to encourage them to take responsibility for their actions and to seek healthier ways of addressing conflicts and challenges. However, until they demonstrate a willingness to address their manipulative tendencies, it may be wise to exercise caution and not invest complete trust in them. Now, let us discuss the individual who constantly seeks control and power over others. This person has a strong desire to exert control and dominance in their relationships and interactions. They may use manipulation, intimidation, or coercion to achieve their desired outcomes. Placing trust in someone who constantly seeks control can be risky, as their actions may be driven by a need for power rather than genuine care for others. They may prioritize their own interests and desires over the well-being of those around them, which can lead to a toxic and imbalanced dynamic. It is important to recognize the signs of. When dealing with someone who exhibits a strong desire for control and power, it is crucial to approach the relationship with caution. Their actions are often driven by a need to manipulate and dominate others, which can lead to an unhealthy and imbalanced dynamic. Placing trust in such individuals can be risky, as they may exploit their position of power to further their own interests at the expense of others. These individuals may employ various tactics to maintain control. They might use manipulation, coercion, or intimidation to assert dominance and ensure compliance from those around them. They may undermine the autonomy and agency of others, disregarding their needs and desires in favor of their own. This can create an atmosphere of fear where individuals feel powerless and unable to express themselves freely. It is important to be vigilant and recognize the signs of control-seeking behavior. Some common indicators include a lack of respect for boundaries, a constant need to be in charge, and a tendency to disregard the opinions and feelings of others. These individuals may also exhibit a pattern of micromanagement, attempting to dictate and oversee every aspect of a situation or relationship. In such cases, it is crucial to establish and maintain healthy boundaries. Clearly communicate your needs and expectations while asserting your autonomy. Refusing to comply with their attempts to control or manipulate can help establish a sense of personal empowerment. However, it is important to approach these situations with care, as confrontations with controlling individuals can escalate into further power struggles. When dealing with someone who seeks control and power, it is wise to evaluate the overall impact of the relationship on your well-being. If their behavior consistently undermines your autonomy, causes emotional harm,